Please go through it and read it. It says how to do the work. The #1 international bestseller, How to Do the Work. Reorganize your patterns, heal from your past, and create yourself. Dr. Nicole LePera, the holistic psychologist. Amazing, right? I told you, when you're part of my platforms, you have to read a chapter every day. Here we fast, here we eat healthy, here we read chapters, we read books, here we do research, here we educate and question the system because we don't have fear. And that's why we do this Identity Friday. So listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This book is interesting, and I was reading it through the week, and I just found a lot of information here that you can actually appreciate. So listen to this. Psychiatry once called itself the science or study of the psyche, okay, or soul. So psychiatry once called itself the science or study of the psyche or soul. Today, the focus of psychiatry has become overwhelmingly biological. So we moved from it being a science of psyche or the soul, and now we are using it as a science of biology. Anyway, biological science. You are much more likely to be asked about family history or mental illnesses. No, you are likely to be asked about a family history of mental illnesses. So you've walked into a psychiatry room or that consultation room, and your psychiatrist or your psychologist asks you this question: do you have any history of mental illness? Is it in your genetics? Do you have any mental illnesses? Is there somebody from your background who has suffered mental illnesses? And then you're busy looking at your family background, the family tree, you're not seeing anybody. But you'll still be convinced that this is from your family history. Why? Because you don't know all of your relatives. Some of you are even dating their relatives. Some of you are having sex with your cousins, but you don't even know. When you go to introduce them to your parents, now that I want to marry this one, Dad, you know, I want to marry this one. That is like, Or some of you meet in funerals. You're like, you're my cousin. I've already had an encounter with this one. You're like, hey, and it has been multiple times, and you guys have developed these fake feelings. And now you've done, seen sound so and taste so sweet. Now you're unable to get out of that. Anyway, let's continue. You are much more likely to be asked about a family history of mental illnesses and be given a prescription for antidepressants than to be asked about childhood traumas or given guidance about nutrition and lifestyle. Imagine that. Information is found in books. Go read a chapter every day. You are likely to be asked about family history of mental illnesses and be given a prescription of antidepressants than asked about nutrition and lifestyle or even childhood traumas. The field has embraced the protocol of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. That is the DSM. We've talked about DSM-4 and DSM-5 before. You remember when we were talking about depression and anxiety and mental health issues? You remember that? So the field has fully embraced the protocol of the DSM-5 created by the American Psychiatric Association. So the DSM-5 is actually designed by the American Psychiatric Association. They don't know your genetics, they don't know your nutrition, they don't know your lifestyle as an African, but they designed a protocol to be used to actually diagnose you of a mental health illness. Listen to this. By the American Psychiatric Association, which catalogs symptoms as a means to diagnosis. So they use symptoms to diagnose you. They don't care about the cause. They use symptoms. Typically, a disorder which is genetic or organic in origin, not environmental and not learned. So they don't care if you learned this, they don't care about your environment, they are just using symptoms to diagnose this, and then they tell you it's a mental health disorder that is in genes. So it is organic and is genetical. But this is where it gets interesting. By assigning a genetic cause, we naturally imagine our sickness to be part of who we are. Hello? I'll go slow and I'll repeat until it sinks into your head. As you sit there telling me you're depressed, I want you to know somebody made you believe you're depressed. You are not depressed. You are made to believe that you're depressed. So listen. By assigning a genetic cause, We naturally imagine our sickness to be part of who we are. When we become a diagnosis, it decreases the incentive to change or try to explore root causes. I repeat, when we become a diagnosis, it decreases incentives to change or try to explore the root causes. So you simply become, you believe and you become. We identify with the label, this is who I am. This is who I am. Let me take you back a little bit because I want you to understand where I came from. Back then, our people used to identify problems by doing these spiritual things and all that. They used to know that there's a connection between the body and the soul. They understood that. And for them to treat the body, they had to make sure that the soul is at perfect peace. That is why we fix identity. So they understood that for you to have a perfect physical appearance or physical well-being, the psychic or the soul has to be in perfect shape. However, mainstream Western medicine has long deemed this connection unscientific. Hello? Is it me who is reading books or crazy books? Imagine that. So we used to know that the soul is connected to the mind and the mind is connected to the body. The three are working in harmony. So if the soul is perfect, the physical is totally perfect. But if you experience symptoms of the physical, check the soul. Start by checking the soul. Is it perfect? Is it in perfect peace? Once you've ascertained that the soul is in perfect peace, now move. Check the mind and then check the physical. Because whatever is seen outside is actually a revelation of what is inside. Anyway, mainstream Western medicine has long deemed this connection unscientific. And you're seated there asking me, where is your evidence? Where is your science? Where are the peer-reviewed papers? Science did not discover anything. Everything was here with us. Science just documented. Imagine somebody coming from UK to see Mount Kilimanjaro and then documenting, I have discovered Mount Kilimanjaro. I mean, yeah, it has been there all through. There are Tanzanians who knew Mount Kilimanjaro. And now somebody comes there and tells you, oh, you know what? I have just discovered this mountain. It is now called Kilimanjaro. And then he's given a Nobel Prize for discovering what we already know. Well. So it deemed it unscientific. In the 17th century, the concept of mind and body dualism. Now they separated the mind and the body. It was a single thing. Now it was dual. So this in the 17th century, the concept of mind-body dualism, a literal disconnection between the mind and the body, was birthed by the French philosopher called René Descartes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it the right way, but again, it's R-E-N-E and then Descartes. The dichotomy persists for 100 years later up to now. We still treat the mind as distinct from the body. If you are sick psychologically, you see one type of doctor, have one set of medical records, and end up getting in one type of hospital. If your symptoms are deemed physical, the process plays out much differently. So what this book is actually saying, and I hope you can just read this book. It's actually a very good book. So this is saying that all of us knew the connection between the mind, the body, and the soul. But somebody came in and separated these two. Why? Because they wanted to make a business for themselves. So they came in and separated the body from the soul, from the mind. And now we had all these things different. So every symptom was classified according to what is happening. Is it physical? Is it psychological? Is it now mental? Now, once we've done that, we've created a big business, because if it's mental, we are taking you to antidepressants or hypnotics or anti-anxiety drugs. If it's physical, we are taking you to antibiotics, taking you to drugs for pain and all that. If it's a psychological, we're taking you to imagine that. So we are separating each one of them and treating them as an individual entity. Yet we know most of us are suffering from things that are coming from within us. So they broadened the diagnosis, and then they broadened the need for medication so that the pharmaceutical companies can actually benefit from one individual. So you'll be diagnosed with depression, given an antidepressant. You end up experiencing some symptoms of erectile dysfunction because these are the side effects of antidepressant. You'll be given a drug for erection. That is for the physical. Acha tukunywe maji. Labda makosa ni yetu. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Identity Fridays. Why are you angry? Why do you have emotions? Why do you feel incomplete? Why are you inadequate? Why are you constantly seeking for love? So this is a live for that person who looks at their fathers and they resent their fathers with the hate of their mothers. This is a live that shows you how mothers can be wicked to an extent that they turn children against their fathers and then they start resenting their fathers. So most of the things that we've learned in life, they are lies. Most of your thoughts are lies at all the time. They excite you to depress you. They make you feel loved to make you feel hated. They make you feel happy only to make you feel sad. They are lies. Stop listening to your thoughts. They are not your thoughts. They are what people put in your head. Immediately you start doubting every single thought in your head, you're winning this battle. You will not expect anything from anybody. You will not think you love people because you're incapable of loving people. You can only love God, and then God will give you the love so that you can spread it to other people. This is a live for that weak man who is wondering, why is my marriage headed towards divorce? Yet I have done everything for this woman. This is a live for that woman who is looking at the husband and wondering, why is this one so weak? Why am I even becoming a leader? Yet I came here hoping that I can submit to this one so that he can actually lead me. Women want to submit and respect a man who has leadership. A man who upholds the truth. So he knows God. And through knowing God, he has an identity. And now he is filled with love and he can share that love. And the order of God, as we say every single time here, you can go shout at the mountain, sing all those praises songs until the cows come back home. But you realize that the order of God shall remain. That God above men, men above women, women above children. And that is how love flows. The other way around is respect and submission. Now this might be interpreted as, most women will interpret this as, oh, this guy is a chauvinist, this guy is a misogynist, this guy is talking against women. No, I am actually advocating for women because women are happily, they are happy under a man who can easily provide, a man who can protect, and a man who can actually show you leadership. It is very natural. That's the natural order of life. And I told women, stop looking for a man. It is so unnatural for a woman to look for a man. So when you start telling us, oh, you know what, I have a type. Oh, you know, this is my type. When we ask you about your type and you answer, this is my type. We will paint the exact image of that type of yours. We will serve you that type of yours. After we've served you that type of yours, you will see hell. You will end up resenting the man or the male. And you will become just like the male. You will become masculine. You will become resentful. You will have all this anger. And as you have this anger, you will adapt his identity. So this male will always be in your head. What does that mean? That means every man you will be looking for, because you're still looking for a man anyway. You're getting it all wrong. So you'll still be looking for a man. So every time you'll be looking for a man, you'll be looking for a man who is totally the opposite of this one who is in your head. Which means you've allowed this evil spirit in form of a man to live in your head and guide you, to control you. So you're constantly running away from the man in your head and you end up attracting the same man in your head. We attract who we are from within. You like it or not, you will attract who you are from within you. So go fix you. Whatever is happening in the world is none of your business. All of us, whatever is happening in the world is none of your business. You don't have a career, you don't have a reputation, you don't have parents, you don't have nothing, you don't have children. You came alone, remember that. All you have is the love of God. All you have is the power within you, the identity. So you choose you because there are only two identities. You either identify with the evil or you identify with the good. Once you just settle to that level, you will realize you're an evil person and therefore you need to cross that bridge. You need to overcome so that you have perfect peace. And when you have perfect peace, tell me about depression. Tell me about anxiety. Tell me about overthinking. Tell me about anger. Some of you are so filled with anger, and when I ask you if you're angry, you keep on running. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not angry. I'm never angry, because you think when I ask you if you have anger, I'm asking you if you have anger issues. Why is that so anyway? By the way, why is it that way? That every person I ask, do you have anger? The first thing they tell me, no, I don't have anger issues. I'm like, no, I did not ask you about anger issues. I asked you, do you have anger? Just answer yes or no. They say no. And then I ask them, so you have never gotten angry? You never get angry? They say, I do, because I'm human. Listen to that, them defending the nature of evil. I do get angry because I'm human. But you said you don't have anger. So how do you get angry without anger? They're like, oh, I see what you've done there. I'm like, yeah. So do you have anger? Now they're like, yeah, let me just say yes. But I don't have anger issues. I know how to handle it. I know how to, I've learned how to. Where did you learn that from? When you don't have an identity? Where did you learn it from? And that's the reason why we have this life. Amazing stuff. You are in the world, but you're not of the world. Always remember that word. You are in the world, but you're not of the world. So whatever is happening in this world is none of your business. Seek ye first, and the rest shall be added unto you. The problem with you is you're constantly seeking the rest, forgetting the major point. But anytime you seek the rest, you turn yourself from the spirit of good. You will never see light. Oh, you will live in that hell every single time. That is the reason why most of you love their own hell, but you don't even know. That's the reason why most of you resent your fathers and your mothers, but you don't even know. You think you love them, but you don't have love. Where did you get love when you have anger? A heart that harbors anger cannot harbor love. It is impossible. Just the same way light and darkness cannot sit in the same room. If you have anger, you have the spirit of evil. You need to fix it. You need to overcome the anger, because anger blocks you from seeing light. When you have anger, you just want to destroy. And when a woman has anger, she's interested in destroying every single thing. She is willing to apologize later because of guilt, but she can destroy every single thing, including her children. And I can demonstrate this. Look at a woman who has a child. You people call them single mothers. There's no single mothers. I told you there's nothing like single mothers. You cannot get a child on your own. There's a father. So look at a woman who is raising a child on her own. She gets so angry and emotional because sometimes providing for this child is becoming problematic. So she gets angry. Sometimes she looks at her children and she sees the father who ran away. And now she has to train the children to hate the father through her own hate. So most of you, you don't hate your fathers. Most of you were taught to hate your fathers by your mothers. So you hate your fathers through the hate of your mothers. You are not born with hate. So look at this woman getting into a relationship and introducing this child to this new man. And then this new man is so charming because of the nature of evil. He's so charming that this woman does not want to drop this man. And once that man realizes that weakness, because from inside you, you are constantly trying to seek validation and you're trying to find love. You're trying to find somebody and then you find him anyway. But this man knows that you're coming with that weakness of being incomplete. He is also incomplete because he has never forgiven his mother. So he has all his issues. So he's just interested in the organ. So you introduce the child to him and this guy puts boundaries. He tells you, you know what, I don't think I can date a single mother. I don't think I can marry a single mother. Unless, now when he says unless, now you're like, oh, okay, unless what? Anything you say, I'll do. Where? Anything you say, I'll do. Okay. Now this guy comes in, he's angry, and you think it's because of this child of yours. Now you're looking at this guy trying to blame this child of yours for the relationship, because sometimes it gets difficult, because when this guy tries to punish this guy, this child of yours, let's say he's a son, and the new man tries to punish this child, of course you'll get so angry. That is one. Number two, your son or your daughter does not like this new man because he knows that this man is coming in to separate or to actually divide the attention that is coming from you to the children. So they sense it. They don't like that. They resent you. They become just like you. Have you ever wondered why it is so easy for a single mother to actually raise a single mother? Have you ever wondered why? And then they make you believe that the man was the problem. So now when you're there, you're trying to look for a man, you're seeing problems in every man. And the weird part, you end up becoming a single mother earlier than the age that your mother became a single mother. Have you ever noticed that? Look around, you'll see that. So now depression is setting in. The depression is setting in. You're hating your father, you end up attracting your father because he was a weak man. You end up attracting your father in a relationship, and now you resent this because whatever you're running away from will come. You will attract it. Because you're running away, yes, you can even change the countries, but you carry the spirit inside you. You've not changed the spirit, you've just changed the country. How about the spirit inside you? Oh, you can go to that river and pray and carry your hands up and do all those things. You can go and kneel down and do everything. But once you've come out from that kneeling, you're like, what was I doing? Because the devil is speaking to your thoughts. He knows your weakness is your imagination. So he gives you what you want, and then you feel happy, and then he depresses you by disappointing you. So do not allow the nature of evil to settle in you. Get it out. This is not a preaching class. This is not a church. But if you want to take it that way, well done. I am better off than your pastor who lays a hand on you. And once he lays a hand on you, he wants to touch your boobs. He's laying a hand on you, but he's busy looking at your, your breast like, this one. How many of you have suffered in the hands of pastors? You thought your pastor is going to fix your identity, and then your pastor wants you. Oh, you know what? For me to get this evil spirit out of you, I must put the Spirit of God inside your organ. How many of you? Now the pastor has akona mfereji ya kuwekea Spirit of God. He has to sink his manhood inside you so that he can pour the Spirit of God inside you. How many of you? Most of ladies are so gullible. And actually, if you walk into churches, you will see women are the ones who are actually holding these churches up. They are the ones who are holding this church up by financial support and all that. And you allow them to manipulate you and lie to you because they sell hope to you. They sell hope to you. Somebody does not know God. He knows about God because he has studied theology. But he doesn't know God. He has anger. He has never forgiven their mothers and their fathers for actually imposing a false identity in them. And you expect them to guide you through your depression? Did you know your psychiatrists and your marriage counselors are actually struggling with marriage? How many of you have gone into those counseling rooms and you've been told, oh, you know what? You can just walk through this. I mean, I have gone through this too. I'm divorced, but I'll help you fix your marriage. Somebody who has walked through a divorce is the one who actually can advise you well about marriage. How many of you have heard that? Don't worry about what I'm saying. Don't worry about what I do. Worry about what I say. Okay? Just follow what I say. Don't follow what I do. So I am divorced, but I am going to fix your marriage. I am the psychiatrist. I went to school for this, right? Madam psychiatrist, wewe. Yako ilikushinda, so yangu utaweza? Hapana, no way. So until you get your identity, and I will tell you, I will repeat this until you get it. One thing you should know is every single one of us was born complete, was born without fear, was born... You see, as a child, you can climb on this table and jump. You have no fear, you have no doubt. And you believe that your biological father is richer than every father in this world. Imagine that trust, that a child believes that their father is the richest, even if he's the poorest. A child believes that their father is the strongest. He can actually beat every other child, every other father out here. And that their father is the brightest. That's why they ask their fathers questions. And their fathers are like, where did this come from? If you fail to answer those questions, you are becoming so weak. So you need guidance to answer those questions. So if you're a father and you're getting angry because your daughter is asking multiple questions, you're crazy. You need an identity. If you're a mother and you look at your daughter and you want to shout, some of you are living with their mothers. And when you get to about 25 years, your mothers don't want you there. They want you out. You're working years, you're coming back home and giving them something at the end of the month. They're excited at the end of the month. Hey, my daughter is a doctor. Oh, my daughter is a doctor. Hey, after the money is done, she's looking at you and is like, why don't you live here? We don't want you here. Why don't you get married? And then you get so angry. Why is my mother chasing me here? I have 5 boyfriends, but none of them wants to marry me. So where do you want me to go? And now because you're running away from her, you end up attracting her identity. You end up getting these men who are weak. They cannot provide for you. They cannot protect you. They don't have leadership skills. They shake people's hands with their fingers. And have you ever hey guy, ushawahi salimia mwanaume yeah? And it just rubs your fingers like, you're like, hey, what is wrong with this one? Some of the men nowadays are polishing their nails. Ni lipstick ya makucha ama no. What is that? Imagine you and your man seated in a salon making hair. What time does he have to provide? And he's in a salon with you 4 hours. And you're thinking you have a man. Oh, you know, my man makes very good hair. His hair looks good. Where? He will tell you to pierce every organ in your body for him. You pierce your tongue, you pierce your organs, you pierce everywhere for him. Because you want to satisfy his ego. It's all about ego. And you, on the other hand, you're there telling him to do everything, to lick every organ that you have in your body so that you can actually feel comfortable. It is for your sake, for your ego. Look at ladies shaving their hairs to go and buy human hair. Kwani wewe ulishave gani? Yeah, you buy human hair, 300,000 shillings. And you're thinking that you're actually doing so well. Anyway, start requesting to be in. I want to help you fix your identities. We are not here for a fight. We are here to actually make sure that you see the sense. And we have to pump that sense in your head. We don't care. We have to pump it into your head. You have to understand it. And if you see the number of people who are actually getting to appreciate these lives, you will know. I have followed you, doctor, for 1 year now, and heed advice. Works. That is 𝐄𝐩 Fitness 254. I appreciate, sir. Ego is the number one, and you've seen them. You know what? My wife pumps my ego. You've seen those men saying that. If it was not for my wife, if it was not for, hey, she pumps my ego. Hey, ego is evil. Anyway. Yes, shave hair and buy expensive wazungu hair. It is so annoying that you see somebody with perfect African hair. They shave it and they go and buy a whole wig, calling it African hair, and they put it on their head. And they're thinking this has nothing to do with identities. You can easily determine a personality of somebody by just looking at their hairstyle. You have very nice black hair, but you decide one day, oh, you know what? This black hair is not enough. You go and dye pink. What is the problem? Doc, na vile wig ni expensive. There's nothing expensive. It's just you being exploited. They lie to you. It's human hair. If it's human hair, why do you run away from the rain? Why are you running? Yeah? So, ladies and gentlemen, fixing identities. I'll explain it in the easiest way possible so that you can see the bigger picture. Because when I tell you about fixing identities, most of you tell me, oh, you know what, Doc? I don't think I resent my mother. You saw the other day, the other live on Friday, when this lady came in and said she doesn't resent her mother and she doesn't understand what I'm saying. And then once we interrogated her to the latter, we realized everything was actually wrong. She was hailing from a single mother family. She had a lot of problems. And then her mother resents her and she resents her mother. And now she realized, oh, so that is resentment. Most of you think, when I say resentment, I mean you hate your mother, you want to kill your mother. No, the reality is, yes, you hate your mother, but not to the level of actually killing her. You just don't like her and how she shouts at you. That's resentment. You just don't like the fact that she's always changing men. Every now and then she's changing men. And you end up being the same person. Men don't like it. Boys don't like their mothers pampering them so much. But you can't do anything because a woman is an emotional creature. So it's a man who actually humbles her emotions. But now the only man that is in her life now is the son. So how can your son humble your emotions? So you're pampering this son of yours with every single thing, and this son knows women are supposed to provide. This son knows men are supposed to cry, because when my mother is angry, she just cries. So this son knows life is so soft and life needs you to cry. And that's why they tell you, oh, you know what, you go in a psychiatrist's room and they tell you, oh, no, you know what, yeah, don't be, it's good for a man to cry. Oh, it's good for a man to cry. You can cry, yes, it's allowed, but don't cry in front of women. Why would you do that? You are showing them weaknesses. And yet these women are relying on you for strength and security. So now you're exposing your insecurities because you are inadequate from within you. You have no identity. Fix it. Most of the men at the age of 27, they want to get married. Of course, they want to get married. And I'm using that word so intentionally. Men want to get married. That's why most marriages are full of housewives in terms of men. So most men are just housewives because their wives are providing. They're busy taking care of children. They're washing dishes. They're doing all these things. Remember this. This is not about gender roles. The reality is, if you become a man, the provider, the protector, the leader, women will fall into their category. Just as easy as that. It's a natural flow. But you cannot point at a woman telling her, you don't respect me. Of course, if she doesn't respect you, you don't respect yourself. You don't have an identity. So how do you expect her to respect you? There is no order. You don't know the order of God, and you expect a woman to submit and respect you, yet you are not providing. You're sharing bills. It's a problem. And we've normalized sharing bills. Oh, you know, my wife is supportive. Oh, you know this. Bro. Women can only support your dream for a short period of time. They are comfortable supporting your dream from back door. They are comfortable supporting your dream behind you. They push you spiritually. They pray for you. They take care of your children. They make sure that your life is easy because there are things that they can do you cannot do. So they make your life easy through that dimension. But a woman making your life easy by supporting you financially, ooh. Hey, where were you brought up? In Nairobi. And women are very swift. They'll tell you, oh, you know what, don't worry about it. You know, they take you for KFC, you eat those chicken and chips, and you grow fat. So once you grow fat, they will punish you because they will tell you, you know what, you are a 1 minute man. But they bought the chips for you. It was natural. You failed because how would you allow the woman to buy chips for you? You would have taken her out and told her, you know what, this place, they make very good roasted meat. I want you to enjoy it. She will follow. But look at you walking into a restaurant and handing over a menu to a woman. You're telling a woman, you know what do we eat, babe? Babe, what do we eat? You're a gentleman, right? Babe, what do we eat? Choose the menu. She's like, what are you doing? I came here because I followed you. Now you're, hey. And then you ask women, what do you do for a living? Why are you asking women what do they do for a living? Do you want them to provide for you? That's why you're so angry. When I say these things and yet you're in that frame, what do you expect? You'll get angry. Oh, you will hate Dr. Lewis, but you don't hate me. You hate yourself for not being able to stand up as a man. You hate yourself because you cannot stand the truth. You can't. You ask a lady, what do you look for in a man? And yet it's so unnatural for a lady to look for a man. A lady just attracts a man when she becomes feminine and respectful. She attracts a man. She doesn't look for a man. She's supposed to attract a man. Because when she stays feminine and respectful, men will come. But look at you. You have chased her, and now she has given you a chance to express yourself, and you're asking her, what do you do for a living? I mean, you don't have a, hey, yeah. And then you're asking her, oh, you know, what do you look for in a man? Yet you are the man on that date. She will tell you who you're not. She will tell you, I want a financially stable man. I want a tall, dark, and handsome, and you are short and brown. Yeah? She'll tell you this six-pack. At that moment in time, we are looking at your 𝐄𝐩𝟒, the novel. It is 𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐍𝐓𝐈𝐓𝐘. You remember Banta? Do you guys play Banta? Do you guys know Banta? Banta. The marbles. So we used to make a hole for the marbles. Now somebody is looking at you, and we are seeing that novel of yours looking like that hole for the marbles. We are like, and the one that you asked what she's looking for, she's telling you she wants a six-pack. Hey, my friend. So you now have to hold your breath. Hey, you don't want to talk. Umeshikilia hewa. You're like, okay. You know, I have six-pack. You know, wait until you've ejaculated, and now you remove your shirt. Where? We are picking your stomach from your thighs. We are like, no, tawe. He no, husue tawe. So yes, men are becoming weak by design. It's actually by design. The West is actually making our men weak by giving them vasectomy, by giving our women contraceptives, by feeding men with junk food. They are creating foods that are actually weakening the man because they know every weak man is emotional and can easily be controlled. They know that. That's why when they come here and say, oh, we want vasectomy to be given to you people, you just allow it. Oh, yes. Look at your fat professors allowing GMO foods here. Oh, you know what? This is going to improve food productivity. Because they want you to be fat as them so that all of you normalize erectile dysfunction. They have no identities. I mean, a man who cannot take care of himself, how do you expect them to take care of you? A doctor who is obese, how do you expect him to treat you? How? At what do you look for in a man? I told one money, alitoka mbio. Yes. That one you actually slapped him well because he's a weak man. How would you ask a woman what she's looking for in a man, yet you're on a date with her? Why don't you put your leg forward and say what you want? Why are you asking her what she's looking for in a man, yet you're there? She's looking for you. She doesn't even know what she's looking for. But because you brought up that question, she has to answer it anyway. So she'll tell you what you are not. And now you have to act as a financially stable man. How do you do that? You'll ask for Dr. Hey, Dr. Lewis, uko wapi? Nijenge 2000, niko kwa debt na umdemba na I'll refund next week. Now you're getting in debt to try and impress a woman. You've shown her already an insecurity. You've exposed an insecurity inside you. She doesn't like that insecurity. She resents you. So at some point, she will reward you with the sex because you bought her dinner, or you took her for a date, or because you're so nagging. So she decides, let me just give him this thing so that niondoke. Once she gives it to you, now you've grown some ego because you're evil. Anyway. Doctor, how do we request to join on YouTube? It's tricky. Kill shot. It's tricky to join on YouTube. You can simply just put a comment. I'll read it and explain it. But if you would like to join it and the live, you can actually go on TikTok and request to be a guest. I can bring you in and see the real picture. Because some of you are so angry at your parents, but you don't even know. Some of you are angry in your relationships, but you don't know it's actually coming from your parents because you're not your thoughts. You actually thought that somebody taught you how to become angry. Somebody taught you how to hate people. Somebody taught you tribe. Somebody taught you religion. Somebody taught you a lot of problems. Somebody taught you that you need a career to be successful. Somebody taught you success. But whatever you view as success is crazy because you will end up being so successful in your career, but you're not satisfied. You start chasing another thrill. You end up finding the most beautiful Mona Lisa on earth. As a wife, you're not satisfied. You're still chasing the other fat ones. You will end up having all these cars and all those good houses. You're not satisfied. You still sleep in Airbnbs with other women who are prostitutes. Because your home is not peaceful. Why? You're thinking your home is not peaceful, yet the peace is not outside you, is within you. You don't have peace from inside you. So you keep on running, but you're carrying the anger, the inadequacy, the insecurity inside you. It is not about what is happening outside you. What you're seeing outside is just a reflection of the energy that is inside you. And that energy was put there by somebody. It was put there by your parents. It was put there by church. It was put there with schools. It was put there by your colleagues. So you have ended up attracting all these false identities that have actually suppressed your own identity. So what we do on Identity Fridays is to show you how to unfold your own identity by actually overcoming these false identities that you've attracted every single place you go to. You will one day learn. So whatever is happening outside you is nothing, has nothing. Whatever is happening inside you is the problem. It is the problem. So you are the problem. Find the solutions to that. When you constantly seek for the solutions outside of you, you're seeing it the wrong way, you're finding it the wrong way, you're getting more multiple identities that are actually false identities. So I told you, and this triggers most women, I told you this. The role of a father is, one, to protect the children against emotions that are coming from the mothers. I'll tell you that again. The number one role of a father is to protect his children from the emotions that are coming from their mothers. That is one. Before even protecting them against the external aggressors, you start protecting them from the one who has them here. Because this one who has them here is an emotional creature, can easily turn these children against you, and you will suffer. How many men have you seen? They live abroad, they send money to the wife, and the wife pays school fees for these children. And the children end up thinking that the wife is the one who is paying school fees. And these children know that their father does not do anything. So when you retire from that job that you're doing abroad and you come back here, you try to reconnect with your children, and there is no connection whatsoever. And then how many of you have seen that most men, they marry and they leave their wives in the villages, but in town they live with their mothers. So their mothers move from the village because now their fathers, you see, these people are getting into the old age, they have retired. Instead of them living in the village to do some farming and enjoy their life as they age, your mother decides to leave your father in the village and comes and lives with you in the city. And now all she does is to create chaos between you and your wife. She's even arguing on who is supposed to sit in the front seat car, in the car's front seat, sorry. So your wife and your mother are arguing on who will sit in the front seat of your car. And your father in the village, because he left and went into the city to look for money to educate you, only to bring you out as an educated fool. So he took you to school, but he did not stand his ground to show you that he's the one who was paying school fees. So you ended up thinking the mother is the provider. So every single money you get, you send it to your mother. And your father is now retired in the village. 3 years down the line, he's dying of depression. And I told you that whether you like it or not, you have to reconnect with that biological father of yours. Whether he's a drunkard or not, you will have to reconnect with him for you to see light. You see that thing that Christians call baptism? It is not being dipped in water. No, it's not. It is you overcoming the evil nature in you by reconnecting with your biological father. Because you cannot claim to love the creator or the father unless you go back to the father who is the biological father. You cannot go back to your father until you go back through the son, or unless you go back through the son. And biological fathers are earthly representation of God to children on earth. They are the sons of God. So your biological father is a son of God. So for you to go back to God and get your own identity, you have to reconnect with your biological father. By reconnecting with him does not mean you're going to pick up his identity or pick up his character. No, it means you're going to reconnect with his soul, and through that, God will give you an identity. That's the reason why I tell you to forgive your mother so that you overcome them. Why? Because mothers are very good at turning children against their fathers. Look at it this way. When a woman is newly married, the husband comes back home, gives her flowers, gives her chocolates, buys her shoes, takes her for dinner, and all that. So she has all this attention from the man. And then comes the firstborn. And when now the man comes from work, the first thing he asks, how is my child? Let's say the child is called Njeri. So the father asks, Njeri ameshinda aje? How is Njeri? How is Nick? How was his day? Is he sleeping? Has he eaten? Has he fed? Now this means the attention that you as a woman was getting has now drifted or shifted to the child. Women do not like that thing. Women survive on attention. So they do not like that thing. But they can't do anything about it because they are mothers. They are still excited about being mothers. That's why they don't even know. They start to resent these husbands of theirs. Once that happens, these women want this attention so bad. This attention that is going to the child, they want it. So what do? Remember, women have two ways to control a man. One is through sex. So if you ejaculate, you become the zombie of the year. She can easily control you. Number two, and controlling does not mean taking advantage of anything. Just has a way of just making sure that you are weak. Number two, the children. So when she realizes she can hardly control you through sex, so men who don't ejaculate know this very well, she will try to turn the children against you. It's a natural instinct. They don't even notice it. And when they do that, they are hoping that when they do that, they can get their attention back. But when they turn children against their biological fathers, these children end up resenting these mothers, because the children are always seeking the love of a father. You can know that. If you're raised by a single mother, if you're raised by a grandmother, you know very well, inside you are constantly seeking the love of a father. So that's why you end up trying to find love in a man, the love of a father in a man. So you are looking for a man who is a father figure. So this is the problem. So when you end up being turned against your biological father, you start resenting your mother. Why? Because she's turning you away from the love of a father. So when you end up resenting your father, you become evil. You become emotional because you've adapted the identity of your mother. You're hating your father with the hate of your mother. It is not your hate. So you become very, very ignorant. You become very arrogant. You become very angry. You resent your father and you end up becoming masculine. You resent your mother. You end up adapting her identity. And every man you'll attract, because you're masculine from within, you attract a feminine man. You attract a man who is chaotic and emotional, just like your mother. You attract a man who does not know God, so does not humble emotions that are coming from you, because your father was unable to humble the emotions that were coming from your mother. And you've seen it, that men out here, they can roar like lions. But when they get home, we see it all the time. You can have a married man who is so stoic out here, we even call you boss. Hey, you're so bossy out here, my friend. Wait until your wife calls. Wait until that it pops on your screen. Wife. Wah! This guy is literally sweating. Yeah? He doesn't even know what to say. Yeah? And now he wants to break camp with the friends because the wife has called. But he doesn't want the friends to know this is the wife who has actually made him break the camp. He's actually holding his phone from here. We're like, hey bro, what is happening? Oh, you know, mama. Oh, mama. Hey, mama. Yeah. Anyway, let me read some comments. Yeah, mama said, mama. Yeah, he's a gentleman now. And he was roaring. Leta mbili. Kipea mtu kila mbili. You know, guys, I have to go home. Well done. Go and see mama. You're always looking for mama. So you attracted mama. And when mama calls, you have to run home. Aye. Bubea Agnes says, hey doc, talk about role models. Like when someone finds a role model and wants to become like them, they even choose the career that this role model is in. And then along the way, they get another role model in a different field. And then neglect the first decision, claiming it was their parents' idea. This is a perfect thing. Actually, I will not only talk about role models. I'm going to talk to you about toxic parents and toxic children. This thing that you people call, oh, you know, my parents are toxic. Oh, you know, I have toxic father, toxic mothers, is a lie. You are the evil one. Listen. Anytime you're looking for a role model, what does it reflect? It reflects that you're so inadequate from within. You're not complete, right? That's why you're thinking that person will make your life complete if you become that person. Your role model, listen, your role model is in your head, is the future you. That should be your role model. Because whatever you can achieve is not in another person's life. It is in your head, it is in your spirit. It is you. So when you start looking for role models, it means you have nothing and you are admiring another person's life. One, you don't know what they did to be where they are. You don't know. So why do you have a role model? Yet the dream is yours. Why do you have role models? The reason why our parents messed us up when we were growing up is because they lied to us that there is a career and you have to achieve this career and become successful through that career. They didn't even know how to define that career. Somebody once told me, if you want to become richer than your father, stop listening to your father. Listen to that statement. If you want to become richer than your father, stop listening to your father. And I was asking myself, what is richness? What is riches, or what is richness? What is that? Is it money, a lot of money? Is it livestock, like other people think riches is in livestock? Is it that? What is it? You've seen the Borana community fighting all the time because of cattle. They have a lot of animals, but they still go ahead and find what? Find a fight to just grab more animals. You've seen our MPs. They have all the money, but they still go ahead and grab land. They still go ahead and take all these fake deals to just make more money. It will never be enough. You will get that role model, which is a false identity. You will get to his level, you will want something else. You will want something else. And look at who the people that we think are role models. They either have good cars, good homes, they have this marriage that they are posting on the internet and you think is a perfect marriage. You know of those celebrity couples that you look at every time? There is one that is actually showing you how marriage is working and yet has a child with the cousin. Hello? And he calls himself the name of Jesus. So Jesus just showed up, apparently, after this guy had slept with the cousin. And that is your role model, right? Oh, I want to be like him, famous on YouTube, doing videos, putting all these billboards for the wife all over. This is the same guy who came and told you, oh, you know what, that is not my child. And then he was pinned down and he said, oh, I was a sinner. You know, that is when I was a sinner. I was a sinner. I ended up sleeping with my cousin, made the cousin pregnant. Yeah. So I understand that all of us are product of incest. I understand that. Adam and Eve and the stories, we came from there. But why would you paint an image that you are a role model to some of us, that you're making good money and your life is perfect, yet you have a child with your cousin? How? And you're telling us you know Jesus more than we do. Where? So role models are a fake identities. The only thing that we have on this world is not a career, is not money, is an identity. We need to get that identity. Once you get that identity, the identity inside you will reveal what you will become, what you will do. And then that will not be you. That will be the identity inside you that will be showing you and revealing things to you. So you'll be acting as a vessel. You'll just be a vessel. And whatever is inside you will be guiding you. The reality is this. We identify with only two spirits. One is good, one is evil. When you have an evil spirit, you have anger, doubt, concern. You are looking for role models because you are not secure. Because what God says is, seek ye first, and the rest shall be added. Seek the kingdom, the rest will be added. So all these things that you're actually chasing in form of a role model will be added unto you if you have an identity. But look at us chasing the rest, but forgetting the main goal, because our only purpose on this world, you've seen people telling you, oh, you need to chase your purpose, oh, you need to chase your passion. There is nothing like passion, there's nothing like purpose. The only purpose that you have on this earth is to serve God. And if your line of duty is actually encouraging service to God, you have an identity. You have an identity. Everything else shall be added unto you. So your role on this world is to serve God, not to look for false identities in role models. And then now you end up blaming your parents. You know what? My parents took me to school. I didn't want this course. I ended up doing this other one. No, you are busy chasing thrills. You're busy chasing thrills. You go to a campus, you're smoking weed, you're drinking alcohol, which I did. I didn't have an identity, so I kept on chasing all these things. Sometimes you were there like, medicine is difficult. I have to smoke weed for me to remember things. You smoke weed, you get into a zombie mode, you wake up, your memory is gone. You don't remember anything. Now you have to do more work. So you're chasing thrills. As you chase thrills in form of role models, those are just false identities that you're quoting with the word role models. You will never have peace. Your role is to chase the above. Get your identity, be filled with love, and then the identity will reveal that identity. God will reveal things through that identity, and you'll do that. Exactly. So you'll be a vessel. Okay? Yeah. That's why you end up getting dissatisfied. That is right. You constantly chase things that are not achievable, because even simple science tells you that human wants you cannot satisfy human wants. So you keep on trying to satisfy human wants by chasing thrills. You get this thrill, no problem. You're looking for sex. You're thinking that a marriage is going to make you complete. You get a marriage, divorce. You get a job, you're fired. You cannot even come in early. You're always constantly late. And you still do the same things over and over. You change the job, but you have an evil spirit in you. And one time, I'll tell you this for free. Ladies go through this a lot. You get into hands of an evil boss, and the boss takes advantage of you sexually, and then you get that job. My friend, your organ will be used every single time to maintain that job. You give in to a man to get a job. This man will use that organ every single time so that you can maintain your job. I'm telling you the truth. He will be constantly using that organ to satisfy the ego in him. So anytime he has a thrill for sex, he's looking for you. If you fail, he's becoming the worst boss you've ever known. And guess what you do wrong? You'll decide, you know what? I am tired of this job. I am tired of this boss. You resign and you go find another job. The boss is still male. What do you expect? What do you expect? You resign from that job, but you did not resign from the evil spirit inside you. You did not. Oh, that organ shall be used. My friend. Anyway, sometimes I hold back on what I want to say because it's a medical show. Yeah? Doc, I want to see you for some personal health issues. How can I reach you, sir? We close the physical consultations for this month, so it's impossible for you to see me physically until January. So the only thing you can do is actually book an online consultation. We will talk to you. So ladies and gentlemen, if you've never visited my YouTube page, Health and Wellness Sport, you are wasting your time. Just go on YouTube, Health and Wellness Sport, press that subscription button and enjoy health content for free. And on Fridays, sit back and fix your identities. We'll tell you what you don't want to hear. Hi doctor, do you think my husband has no identity? 1, he left me with 3 kids. Do we really need to answer this? Ladies and gentlemen. She's still calling him her husband. Do we have a husband here? No, we have a male. So do we answer this question? Anyway, let's finish the question. Hi doc, do you think my husband has no identity? He left me with 3 kids. Number 2, he moved to another city and impregnated 6 women with 14 kids. Hey! Father Abraham, hey, had many sons. Had many sons. Father Abraham. This gentleman is the modern day Solomon. He was told to fill the world, but don't take care of them. Children come with their own plate. They will provide for themselves. This one, he's not your husband. Yeah? He was spreading the seed, and apparently you became the farm. So he used that farm adequately. Okay, number 2, so he moved to another city, impregnated 6 women with 14 kids. Now, number 3, he complains of his mom never loved him. I'm thinking she's saying that he complains that the mother never loved him. You see, a lot of issues here. Immaculate Kinuthia, this is a good one. 1, you attract who you are, so you cannot blame this gentleman. Okay, he's a gentleman. You cannot blame him. So you attract who you are. So the point is, you got into this relationship, 1, without an identity. So you ended up attracting a man who had no identity. He was just a male, and he was interested in your organ. Apparently, you are so fertile, and he made you pregnant. Again, you repeated the mistake, because nobody hides their red flags. We will always see red flags from the beginning. But because we are slapped with good sex, we are given all these things that actually boost our emotions and all that, we end up ignoring the red flags and we end up getting punished. So you're actually punished for ignoring the red flags. And I will not be surprised that this guy was possibly your age mate, or you are older than him. So he ran away because he did not have an identity, and you attracted somebody who was just like you, zero identity. Number two, whether he was weak or he was strong, you have to teach your children on how to forgive him. They have to face him, to overcome him, because if they don't, your sons will end up becoming like him. They will end up punishing and taking advantage of other women. Your daughters will not know how to react or how to behave under a man or before a man. So they will end up attracting men who are weak and who are non-providers, because your daughters know women are supposed to provide, so they'll end up providing for these men. And that will be a problem. And number three, you have to forgive him to overcome him, because his spirit is actually hovering around you. That's why you're so much full of bitterness. So you need to face him and tell him, hey, you know what? You left us and we are doing perfect, but I want you to forgive me for resenting you for no good reason. I expected you to be there, but you ran away. So I forgive you, and I would like you to forgive me for resenting you for no good reason. That will help you overcome him. Okay, he's a her. That will help you overcome him. Once you overcome him, you will have an identity, and through that identity, God will reveal to you how to raise your children. And until that happens, you'll be so angry. You'll be looking at your children and seeing that man, so you'll resent your children. In return, they'll end up resenting you. They'll end up becoming worse than you are. So please, go forgive that man, overcome him. Go forgive your mother, overcome her. Go forgive your father, overcome him. You will have an identity, and you'll keep on moving. Imagine a man trying to say, you know, my mother did not love me, so I'm actually lashing this anger on other women. Who told you mothers can, my friend. And I will not be surprised that you are older than him, because he was looking for a provider in a woman. And most men are looking for their mothers in a woman. You've heard them saying, oh, this woman does not know how to cook like my mother. Oh, my mother cooks this. My mama, beat them else. So you have to release the identity of the feminine, the nature of a woman inside you. So every man in this generation is looking for a woman who can love them, because they failed to be, they were not loved by their fathers because their fathers were weak. They were not loved by their mothers because their mothers were angry at their fathers and they taught them how to hate. So these men are constantly looking for their mothers in every woman they are getting, because they want these women to provide for them. They are looking for love in a woman, and women cannot offer love to men. So they're looking for something that women don't have. And they end up attracting these women who will resent them, because women want them to love them and show them the way, but now they want the woman to love them. So it's so unnatural for a woman to love a man. And these are what our modern men are looking for. A woman who can love me the way I am. Women are incapable of loving a man. Women can only love products of their own womb. They are incapable of loving a man. They can love products of their own womb. That means women are capable of loving only their children. This is a typical case of my brother in third year course, already claiming we chose the course for him. Your brother has to fix an identity. Boobear. Oh, this is the story we've been talking about. Oh, toxic parents and all that, blame game. When you start playing a blame game, when you start being this, you're thinking your parents are toxic, you're thinking they don't love you. You are the problem. Nobody's supposed to love you. If any case, you're supposed to only love God, and the rest shall be added unto you. So nobody's supposed to love you. You don't expect anything from anybody. That's your problem. So this guy, imagine now he's in third year and he's blaming his parents for choosing the course for him. So imagine the type of woman he's going to attract. Imagine the chaos in that relationship. Where? Father Abraham. Father Abraham. There are men who want that. They just want to ejaculate. This is why we are training men to retain their semen. Retain your semen. Ejaculation and orgasm are not the same. Sex is a spiritual thing. And every hole you dip your dipstick in gives you all these false identities. Gives you all these false spiritual identities. Sex is very spiritual to men. Anytime you ejaculate, whether you are having sex with your own hand or having sex with a prostitute, you will end up attracting all these false identities. But nowadays, even men who are married cannot erect for their women, but they can erect for their hands. Hello? Married men cannot erect to satisfy their women sexually, but they can erect for their hand. Hey, munanunua Nivea every week. This man fails to satisfy a woman in bed and runs to the toilet to just wank and ejaculate. This man wanks every single night, masturbates every single night, but they cannot have sex adequately with the woman in that bed. They have sex with the woman, it's unsatisfactory, they'll still move to the bathroom to have sex with their own hands. And they love watching porn and masturbation. Imagine enjoying another man having sex. Imagine that. Because I don't think there's a man who goes to watch porn to see a woman having sex. Because they have a woman in the bed, but they are unable to satisfy her. And how many of you actually, you've decided, now because we are here, let's watch porn with your husband in the bedroom. You're watching porn with your husband so that he can actually erect. And then now, in his head, as he's having sex with you, it is not you. It is that woman or that man in the in the porn video. So he's actually using you, and all of you are using each other anyway. He's actually using you to satisfy the thrill that he saw in a porn movie. On the other hand, you're using him to satisfy the thrill that you saw in the porn movie. Hey, identity problems everywhere. Everywhere. Today, people are even afraid to request to come in. They know it is not easy here. They know it is not easy. I once found my ex-husband enjoying himself. They do all the time. And listen, he's not your ex-husband. He was just a man who was passing by. He was using you for his thrills. Oh. And men, I'll tell you this for free. Every man is supposed to experience about 4 erections in a day without even thinking about a woman. 4 erections. That's the only time you realize your testosterone levels are going up. And when you experience that erection in an office, do not bother hiding it. Why? Because if you realize the behavior of women, a woman will look at a man's groin and then go to the shoe. Ladies, can you tell us why? Why do you look at the groin area and then go to the shoe? I would like to know that. I would like to know that. I'm not on TikTok, Doc, and my story is deep. I think I'll have to wait. I like these types of stories because they actually help us learn something. So I don't know how we can do this. But it's difficult for me to request you on YouTube because we've not attained the logistics of YouTube. Okay. Talk about a husband who can't apologize. Apologies are only supposed to go to people that you resent, not people that you think they've done wrong to you. You're only supposed to go and apologize to people that you resent. Like you, if your man cannot apologize, you're actually supposed to apologize to him for resenting him for not apologizing. So you see, most of us think we are so good that people do wrong to us, they have to apologize to us. You don't look at it that way. If you're going to find an identity, you'll not even need him to apologize to you because he has nothing to apologize for. Just the same way you have nothing to apologize for unless you are resenting him. Let him call direct. No, you see, we're in the office. We're still in Nairobi. We don't have that call of ours. I don't know why we left that phone. We should have done this directly, right? I don't know. How do we do this? Man, I would like that conversation. I don't know why kill shot. I don't know why my instinct is telling me your story is actually deep and I would like to listen to it. Okay, right. What is the contact? I think you can call this other phone so that we can make this interesting. What happened to the live line? The live line is not here. We left it the other side. You see, this one was just high, but it will come back. Oh. Why are men wearing very tight trousers at the groin? Protect their organs. Listen, if you wear tight trousers, that's your business. But having these erections Stiff erections during the day is no problem. You don't hide that. But if you're actually trying to wear these tight trousers, you're actually trying to tell us you have a very micro penis, so that these tight trousers can actually show it off. So you're having an inadequacy. Go fix it as a man. But have you seen those men in the gym who wear these sweatpants and their buttocks zimeparara and they are showing you their buttocks? Have you seen that? Please. 42243865. I would like to do this. Let's do this. Is he still here? Killshot, if you're still there, kindly call this number. Let's just put you on speaker for us to listen to your story. 0742 24 3865. 0742 24 3865. I've sent it there. You can simply call it. Then 65. That is the contact that let me pin it there so that you can use it to call. It's only one call. After that call, we are muting the line, so do not bother calling that contact. Anyway, before that gentleman calls, let's take a call from TikTok, and this is Santiago. And I hope this is an identity thing. It's not a call to ask questions about something else. What about husbands who cannot tell you even when they are sleeping out, and when they come, no explanation? What do you mean, Queen Nelly? What about husbands who cannot tell you even when they sleep out? You see, when they're sleeping outside or when they're having sex outside. I would like you to clarify that before I answer it. Santiago, how are you? Santiago, are you there? Allow me to fix this a little bit before I. Just a minute. Why is my system not detecting this? Let me do this. It's actually showing that it's detected. I don't know why. There's something that we should know. Hold on just a minute, Santiago. As we fix that, Queen Nelly, kindly clarify your point so that I can actually show it. When they sleep outside, no calls, no explanation. You see, they are running away from you. They are running away from you because of thrills again. They're just chasing thrills. So the reality is, if your husband sleeps outside, he's not your husband anymore. He's not. You're just afraid to leave the marriage because you're thinking, oh, you know what? If I leave these, how will I be taken care of? How will I start? Because you're afraid, and fear is the nature of evil. So you need to actually face him and overcome him. Because if you don't overcome him, you're going to suffer in that marriage. You're going to be lonely. You're going to be. You actually start revenging by looking for other people. And the more you do that, the more your spirit gets messed up. So you have to actually face him, overcome him, and let God let go. And also forgive your mother. Have you done that? Have you forgiven your mother for imposing her false identity in you? Have you forgiven your father for actually allowing your mother to impose her identity in you? So you have to forgive those two for you to have an identity. And then you forgive this other one. And you keep moving. I think we'll use this. Santiago, how are you? Talk to me, bro.
Well, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Why are you laughing? Is there something? Has it gotten hot?
This is too much.
Go ahead, bring your question on, sir.
Now, how will you define a man? What's the true definition of a man? How is a man supposed to be?
Okay.
I'm just confused now.
Yeah, okay. A man is somebody who loves God with all he has. Is that simple, bro? It is that simple. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Yes.
What are the roles of a man?
I know. Okay. I think it's protection,
Yes.
provision,
Amazing.
and
Leadership.
definitely maybe leadership.
Yes, it's just leadership, protection, and provision. Those are the three roles of a man. And you cannot know how to do these three roles without knowing God. Because the order of God is God above men, men above women, women above children. So his leadership, his love, his control, his provision will come in that dimension. So until a man knows God, he cannot be a man. He has to grow from his boyhood to get into being a man.
So you mean, doctor,
Yes.
that okay, the bigger part of man's definition it's the spiritual part.
Yes, if any case, the only part. The rest shall align. You see, all the rest are added unto him. Do you understand the concept? Like all the rest are added unto him as long as he has an identity and he has a direct connection with the Father, who is God.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there's no God, the man is messed up. If the man is messed up, the woman is messed up, and even at 𝐸𝐃𝐄𝐍𝐓𝐈𝐓𝐘, from the man to the woman to the children. So if you see children misbehaving, it means the man does not know God. So he doesn't know how to even punish these children. He doesn't know how to correct them. He doesn't know how to tell a woman no. He doesn't know how to humble emotions from a woman. And that's why the woman is turning these emotions to the children. So until he gets to know God, because through that, he will get a revelation on how to guide them. And that's how family is built. And the reason why we do this live is because, one, we want to actually help you overcome some health issues that you are going through that cannot be fixed by medicines or cannot be fixed by the kitchen. And number two, we are actually trying to restore the family unit by rebuilding the man. Yeah.
So what I've realized,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, okay, it's just a part of what I've just experimented. Like the western part
Yes.
of this world, they tell us what they don't buy themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you look at those guys in the West, they really consider and prioritize families.
Yeah.
Yet in Africa, they give us misinformation about it.
But do you realize, even in the West, the only people who uphold the family values are the whites. Most of the black Americans and blacks in the West, they don't know this. They hate their fathers. They are from single parenthood families. So they hate the unit of the family. And that's why most of this agenda of the umbrella is actually being channeled to the blacks in the West. Because the blacks have no ability to say no to anything. They are not leaders in themselves. That's why they trust other people to lead them. There are people who actually are so emotional and angry. Their crime rate is so high because of emotions and all that. So when you have emotions as a man, it is easy to control you. And that's why their leaders are being used to control them. So whatever they are bringing to us is actually what some of them are practicing. That's the reality. But you see, evil and good does not care if you're from Africa or if you're from the West. Evil and good is just where we are. All of us have to identify with the spirit of either good or evil. You choose you. So when you rebuild the man, you're actually helping the family unit to be restored by actually making the connection between the man and his creator. And if you realized, biological fathers are accurate representation of God to children because they are the sons of God. For Christians, the biological fathers are the brothers of Jesus. Okay? So for them to actually, for you to reconnect with God, you must go through the biological father, which means you must forgive those who actually turned you against the biological father. And apparently that happens to be your mother. So when you forgive your mother, you overcome her, you get your identity from her. You forgive your father, you overcome him, but you reconnect with his spirit and the soul. And through that, you get an identity, and then God will fill you with love, and he will show you the direction of how to guide your family. But how many men get into marriage without forgiving their parents?
That's deep.
Yeah.
Anyway, a place to be. That's how to be a man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you've seen that. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for coming through and actually sharing this. And you see, every single day we have something new. Every single day there is something new. You might think you've known these things. I've walked people through identity stories, and I see the anxiety in them. They want to win this battle so bad. And you see, when you want to win a battle so bad, you end up becoming the battle. You end up suffering from the same battle. So I always tell you, if you're trying to fix your identity, just do what you have to do. Go and forgive these people, get your identity, and then stick in prayer. Stick in the silent prayer. Okay? Once you stick in the silent prayer, it will guide you. It will show you what is evil and what is good. So once you've forgiven, you've gotten your identity. Do not expect anything, because immediately you start expecting things, it means you're still inadequate from inside you. So fix that identity by forgiving those that you resent. Once you've done that, you've cleared yourself. Now keep moving. Keep moving. Any challenge that comes in, overcome it as it's coming in. And it will be easier because you'll see it coming. However, know this, immediately you get an identity, because the spirit of evil does not like dying. It doesn't want to die inside you. So what happens is, once you're struggling to get an identity and you get it, the devil becomes a superpower. Oh, he wants to destroy that so fast because he doesn't want to die inside you. He will come through women, he'll come through men, he'll come through pastors, he'll come through psychiatrists, he'll come through doctors. All these people will give you false identities. You'll move from one church to a spiritual leader. You'll move from that spiritual leader to a herbalist. You'll move from a herbalist to something else, to a psychiatrist. Nothing will be working. Why? Because you're constantly expecting things. You are designed and you are born adequate. You don't need anything from anyone. That's something that you should know. Always know that. You don't need anything from anyone. You don't have parents. You don't have siblings. Whatever you're calling sibling rivalry is nothing. It is just an evil nature. And some parents are willing to connive, actually to make a team with your siblings to destroy you. When your light starts coming out, most of them will want to destroy you. They'll gang up against you. Your father will gang up with your sisters to destroy you. Your mother will gang up with your brothers to actually kill you. They want to destroy you because for them they are in the dark. They are wondering, how did you leave us here and you went to the light? How did you end up doing that? So they see you as an enemy of progress to their devil nature, to their evil nature. So they want you here because misery loves company. I come from the Luya land. Most Luya people, they don't wish anyone from their places good. They don't. Oh, Luyas hate each other so bad. Oh, they don't want anything to do with any other person. I don't know if that happens to your place. But where I come from, you wake up a little bit, they will sleep waganga. They will do every single thing to make sure you will not survive. Oh, walk into that village with a car. You will become the topic of discussion in groups, WhatsApp groups. They are waganga. Eh? My friends, I am a son of an archbishop. People are always constantly waiting for me to just sleep. Niteleze tu kidogo. Oh, mtoto wa bishop wani. Huyu tulijua. We knew. Watoto wa bishops wanakuanga hivyo. Watoto wa chief wanakuanga hivyo. They are waiting for the day that I will sleep. Oh, they will use that against me. I know some of you are waiting for me to just make a mistake. You will come for me so badly because you're just an evil person. Imagine us blaming our president for raising taxes and doing all these evil things that he's doing. Yet he's just a sample and a representation of who we are. So who is the evil one? Who is the better devil? That one is a sample of who we are. Just because he cried in church. Oh, hey, this is ours. He's not a drunkard. He even cried in church. Imagine. Hey. Now we are regretting. Oh, it shall get worse. And we shall do the same mistake even in 2027. We shall do the same mistake because that person is not a bad evil or a bad devil. It's just a dragon from us. We are a pool of devils and dragons. Just one of us, we chose one of us to represent us. And now we are wondering, we cannot even stand the mirror image of ourselves. So you think if you are elected as a president, you'll do anything different? wewe mwenye umekaa hapo unaangalia, you will do something different. Oh. What happened to this? Let me try, right? Let me try this. Let's try and get these speakers back. What happened to these speakers? Good. My Luya people. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I look at how people behave and I'm like, wow. And I know that's just Luya. All these are happening everywhere. Which one? I don't know. I don't know how it should make sense. Let's try this one. Let's try a good speaker. This one is fading us. Who is here? Somebody is here. Let's talk to you as we fix the speakers. We hope that can actually bring in more sense. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're on these platforms and you've never subscribed on my YouTube channel, you're doing us an injustice. Go there, don't be mean, subscribe. If you're on these lives and you're not liking the live, you're being mean, just like the live so that you can actually get to reach more people. They can learn something that you've learned here. So like the live, share the live, and let everybody enjoy the healthy content for free. It is free. Teresa Scrubs. Let's talk to Teresa Scrubs. Hello, Teresa. Teresa, are you there? Teresa joined in and she's afraid. Teresa, are you there?
Yes, I can hear.
Ah, good. How are you? What is happening to Teresa? Is your internet okay, Teresa? What is happening here? Somebody's saying she's speaking. I can't hear her. We can hear her. She's talking. Let me see. This one.
But I can hear you too.
Oh, amazing. We can hear her. Okay. Is it me who is not just able to hear her? Let me see. Is she still talking? She's talking and it's very audible. Connected. I think I'll just cancel it. No need. Just disconnect it. Good. Teresa.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How did you know you're good?
Because I can feel it.
Oh, okay.
I don't expect anyone to come and tell whether I'm good.
Okay, talk to us.
First, I would like to appreciate the topic of today. It's very vital. Most of the time we're so keen on the medical issues, or rather our body, how it's functioning, how it is, how weak it is, but we forget some of these things.
Yeah.
As you said, there are some things that can be fixed by on medications.
True.
So whatever you're saying is very true. I'll give a case of myself.
Yeah.
You're not sick. You're not sick. You don't need to go to hospital. But anytime you interacting with people, you find yourself you're not okay. You're either on stress. You ain't able to compose yourself. You're not able to make even some, what are they called?
Yeah.
The relationship you've been having with a man, I would say, in my case. And as we still try to make men learn how to treat us, it gets to be worse. It gets to be worse in this way. We have expectations that we really want these men to meet, but they don't. For a case of a man who wronged you, and you want them to apologize to you, and they don't, you end up hurting yourself more. Because one, you had expectation. Two, you attracted the type of a man that can even apologize to their parents, or to say this.
Yeah.
So, please, whatever you say is very important.
Yeah. Just continue. Allow me to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think a man can hurt you?
A man can, okay, he can hurt me, but I would say he can't hurt me, but he can hurt my feelings.
Who has control over your feelings?
It depends on the environment.
No, but
100% it's me.
oh, so you have control over your emotions. Okay.
But in this case, by lowering my expectation from this man.
But if you are complete or adequate, you don't expect anything from anybody. So why would you expect a man to do some things that will make you feel comfortable? Why is that so? Why is it that women expect men to actually do things that will make them feel comfortable?
Because one of the societal values, we raised by, some of us come from a complete family.
Yeah.
Where we believe in families, especially when the society gets to judge you if you're not married, if you hit a certain age that you're supposed to be married and having kids. So you're even afraid of getting out of that marriage because what will people say? Two, financial massive stability. Will you be able to provide for your own, for your child? That's also an issue. Three, you still need a man to be with you, but you're getting the wrong one. You have the wrong one already. And four, fear of the unknown. If I leave this man, what will happen to me? Will I get another man?
But you don't have to get a man. A man will get you. Your role is to fix your identity, and the rest shall be added unto you. And again, if you have fear, it means you're an evil person because fear is the nature of evil. For example, you said you came from a family that was stable, like you had a father and a mother, right? Was your father the ultimate provider, or they used to share bills with your mother?
The ultimate.
Pardon?
The ultimate.
And do you have anger?
Oh no.
You never get angry?
No, quite.
When you say not quite, what do you mean? You get angry but not all the time?
It doesn't happen often.
So do you get angry? So do you have anger?
I have anger, but not anger issues.
We stated that when we were starting. So do you have anger? Where do you think that anger is coming from?
From what? Expectations of this man.
And why do you expect things?
Where I came from.
Why do you expect things from people?
Because,
What is happening here?
And I think we don't have a control how we get anger, or
please,
if we get anger.
Please repeat it for me. Why do you expect things from people?
Doc, it's not about expecting things from people.
But what gets you angry?
It's about what each man should do.
So do you know you attract who you are?
Definitely, yeah.
So why would you expect somebody to do things yet you attracted who you are?
Yeah, I got you. Let me say this. Let me say this.
Yes.
When you get married, people get married for wrong reasons. Others get married for some reason. I was a young girl. I got married to a man. And, my aspect or what bring me to the man is probably what he has, the material things, positioning, all that. I feel that would be a wrong reason, and this one would satisfy you feelings whatsoever. He might give you if it's the money that you wanted, you have it. If it's the car you wanted, you have it. But you also drain from the feelings.
So you got married for what reason?
Disconnected.
Well, myself, I'm just saying it generally.
No, I'm asking you, why did you get married?
So I get married because I feel I'm ready to get married.
What do you mean you feel ready to get married?
What do I say now? I feel I get married by looking up my standard.
But you see, you say it's you who said that people get married for the wrong reasons. So I want you to tell me the right reasons why people get married.
Not all. Others get married because they are ready, they are prepared mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially.
What do you think is the major reason why people get married?
Major reason, they are wrong reasons, maybe because of finances, maybe because I got a child out of before even I got married.
Teresa, I don't want you to work with maybes. I want you to be sure. Why do you think people get married?
Because they want to feel loved.
But yeah.
Because they made a mistake, they are trying to correct it.
Why would you correct a mistake? Why would you correct a mistake with the new man instead of correcting with the other man? The mistake was not for the new man.
It wasn't okay. The mistake wasn't from the older man, but maybe you slept, you went and got pregnant, but you are not ready to get married to that person simply because this person doesn't have the qualities of a husband you are looking for.
But you attract who you are. So if you attract a man who cannot provide, protect, and lead you, it's because you don't have an identity.
Some of these behaviors are careless. If I get drunk, I go somewhere, someone takes advantage of me, I get a child, I just decide to keep this child, and I can't go back to you simply because I have your child.
But nobody takes advantage of you. You put yourself in a position where people took advantage. They did not take advantage of you. It's you who provided that chance. Because if you did not drink, how would somebody take advantage of you when you have control and you're sin?
Aside some substances get into our system and we can't have control over it.
Let me ask you a question. Is drinking right to you as a woman?
It isn't right.
So why would you do things that are not right?
Let me clear this. I hope you're not talking about because me, I don't drink.
No, I'm just having a conversation with you. Don't stop running. I just want a conversation with you. And I want you to answer the questions just directly so that we can actually get to know what you mean. Because you said a woman went drinking and then she was taken advantage of. Why was she drinking?
Because she wanted.
So she wanted to drink and then now she has to blame a man for taking advantage of her.
But it does happen. It does happen.
So you go drinking and then you blame a person for taking advantage of you when you went drinking.
But what should happen?
So you advocate for women going out to drink and then whatever happens there, they should be protected even when they're drunk, right?
Some of them, even when I came out, what is it called?
But who will put substances in your drink when you are in your father's home?
Depends with the environment. Even in your father's comfort, it still can happen.
Listen, this is just us quoting the nature of evil. We know very well drinking is not right. We go drinking and then we blame people for actually taking advantage of us when we are drunk. Why would you go drinking when you know alcohol is not right for a woman? It doesn't make sense to me. Number two, you say that we get married for the wrong reasons. Then I'm asking you, what are the right reasons to get married? You're not mentioning any. And if I tell you the truth, the only reason why people get married is because they want to have children. They want to continue with the creation. That's the only reason. But you telling me that people get married because they want to feel loved. Marriage is not about love. And if it's about love, then the man is supposed to love the woman, not the other way around. The woman is supposed to respect and submit. So the only reason, which is the major reason why people get married, is because they want to get children. They want to continue their generation. But the truth is, at this moment in time, every woman is looking for love. Mistake number one, why are you looking for love? Yet you are the one who is supposed to love your children. So why are you looking for love in a man? Yet you are unable or you are incapable of loving a man. It simply means you did not get enough love from your parents, and now you're seeking to compensate.
Your mobile device and select the job or product from the list.
You're simply seeking to compensate. It doesn't make sense. So most people actually getting married for the wrong reasons. And one of the wrong reasons is women trying to love men. It's impossible for women to love men. They can only respect and submit a man. So if a woman stick to what they are supposed to stick to, it will be easier. If men stick to being men, if men know God, they will know they have to provide for women, they have to protect women, they have to lead women. And women will fall into their natural core of being women, who will be submissive and who will be respectful. But men have become so weak, and women are suffering in the hands of men. You see, fathers have become so weak to an extent that they can leave their daughters to go and drink alcohol. So they hand their daughters into the hands of the wolves, and then they blame the wolves. You cannot put a sheep in a pack of wolves and then blame the wolves. Because everybody out here is just evil. They don't have an identity. And by virtue of you not having an identity, you ended up in a group of people who did not have an identity. And that's how they ended up having sex with you and making you pregnant.
So let me ask this, are you blaming women for anything that happens to them?
It is you who is actually blaming men for what happens to women who are drinking alcohol. It's not me. I'm just exposing the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you, if a woman is going to a place where the people are drinking, she is responsible for what is happening to her. And I'm telling you, men are wolves out here, and men don't have an identity out here. So what do you expect when you release your daughter to these men who have no identities? They will take advantage of her because they want to satisfy the ego, the evil nature in them. So they will take advantage of her. So why would she make an effort to go drinking with men? It doesn't make sense. And that's why, yes.
A case of a brought someone in my family, introduced him, and they're in for it for you to get married. How will you know whether this man is pretending to be good? How will even your parents withhold and say, this man is not good according to 𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐍𝐓𝐈𝐓𝐘?
That's a good question. Now, the reality is, that's a good question, but let me answer you this. You cannot bring a man to introduce this man to your parents when you don't have an identity. You will be simply bringing your parents a man who has no identity. So if any case, you must fix your identity before getting to attract a man. So you must forgive your mother, you overcome her spirit, you forgive your father, you connect with his soul, you have an identity now. And through that, you will end up attracting a man who will take care of you. So it's not about the man, it is about you, because you attract who you are. So of course there are men who will lie to you and they will come and provide this false identity to your parents because they want to earn your organ and they'll disappear. And that is because you just attracted who you are. So then you blame the men, because when you try to blame people, it just shows the inadequacy in you. No man can leave a woman who has an identity. But how many women get into relationships with an identity? Most of them don't have an identity. And I will tell you this for free. If you want a man, if you are so totally interested in this man and you think that you respect and submit him, tell this man to go meet your father. Most men will not meet your father. I can tell you that for free. But if you tell them to meet your mother, they will meet your mother because they know your mother is emotional, so they can manipulate her. But tell them to meet your biological father, most of them will run away. That's how easily you can deceive these men.
So I'll take you back to the same issues. You find a case of me, you in church, you have your values, you have what you believe in, you have good morals you believe in. You get a man, you get even to do a church wedding. Having done all these processes, does it it mean you still miss a man?
Yes. Ask me why.
Why?
Because your identity is not in church. Your identity is with your father and your mother. You have to forgive them, to overcome them, so that you get your own identity. Identities are not in church. That's why church weddings do not even last. They're the worst. Because people think identity is in church. They think that a pastor has their identity. No pastor, no spiritual leader has an identity. Your identity is with your father and your mother. Simply reconnect with your biological father by forgiving him and forgiving your mother. It's that simple, and you get your identity. You don't need a church for that. But look at what is happening in churches. Women will go out and do all this crazy stuff. They become lesbians. They go have all this sex all over. They go have multiple men. And then now, when time is catching up, because the woman instinct keeps on judging women, they now settle in church because they now want to attract a man who will take care of them. And apparently, at that moment in time, they will attract who they are because they don't even have an identity. They have multiple identities from different men, from different places, from schools, from churches, from careers. Okay, and then they end up trying to settle down because time is actually catching up and the woman instinct is actually catching up with them. So when they are doing that, they are not settling because they want a man. No, they are settling because they are thinking they are running out of time. And that's how they end up attracting the wrong people, because they attract people who actually have the same identity as them.
And isn't that a wrong reason to get married? Simply because you think you're eating up at the edge?
It is a wrong reason to get married, and most people are getting married for the wrong reasons. The only reasons why a woman should get married is because she wants to actually continue the generation of this man. And I'm using the word man intentionally because we have men and we have males. Males don't have an identity. Males cannot provide. Males expect women to share bills with them. But men know what to do. They take care of women by providing for them both physically and financially. They take care of women by leading them. They take care of women by actually trying to humble their emotions and trying to teach them God. Because when you teach a woman God, she will teach your children about God. That's how it goes.
And how do you differentiate between males and men? Because you don't go doing tests on them when they are not married to you.
I don't need to test, or you don't need to test a man. What you need to do is you need to know if he has an identity. And how do you know if a man has an identity? You find your identity. The man that you will attract will have an identity because we attract who we are. So we don't need to look at what is outside us. We look at what is inside us. That is the measure.
Okay, I hear you.
Amazing.
You talk about, last question.
Yes.
Would you talk about the fear of people living unstable marriages? What I mean with unstable marriages, I mean marriages that are putting people in stress, anger, some sort of that.
Yes, I would. One, fear is the nature of evil. That means you don't have an identity. That means you've never overcome the nature of evil. So the spirit that is inside you is the spirit of evil, and is actually telling you about the fears, the doubts, the insecurities. That is the spirit of evil. So you have to overcome it by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father. That is one. Number two, nobody or nothing can actually hurt you. Nothing is causing you fear. Fear is coming from within you, from the spirit that is actually living inside you. When you overcome that spirit, you'll never have anger, you'll never have fear, you'll never have doubt, you'll never look for love, you'll never think you have anything, you'll not expect anything from anybody, and that is how you just get all these things out. You have to forgive your mother for imposing her false identity in you, and then you have to forgive your father for allowing your mother to impose her identity in you. Because his role was to actually humble the emotions that are coming from your mother. So because he allowed your mother to actually impose her false identity in you, you have to forgive them so that you can overcome them. And when you overcome them, you have your identity. Now, you'll never have fear. Okay? But by you fearing getting married is because you're actually comparing yourself to other marriages. You're thinking, if I get into marriage, maybe mine will be like this one. So it means you don't have an identity. Have you gotten my point?
Yeah.
Good. So are you going to forgive your mother?
Already.
How do you know? Did you tell her?
I did.
For real?
Yeah.
And did you forgive your father?
For us now, he was a good man.
How do you know?
He used to treat my mom and us so well, so I don't see any reason for me to forget that.
How would you know if he treated them well when you have anger? How did you end up getting this anger when he was a strong man?
Maybe it came from my mom.
Exactly. And it's the exact thing that I'm saying. That's why I'm telling you to forgive your father, because you're forgiving him not because he did you wrong. You're forgiving him because he actually allowed your mother to impose her identity in you. And that's how you ended up getting the anger.
Can I ask you the last question?
Just ask a question. Don't put it as a last question, because I know. Ask the question.
How do you deal with this man that they wrong you first, they expect you to, or rather the activities to just run, like 2 and 3, they expect you also to come and seek for, not even seek for apologies, but forgive them on their own behalf.
There we go again. There we go again. We are thinking of the outside world instead of the inside world. We attract who we are. So stop thinking about them. Think about you.
Take a situation of you already. You there. You don't want to break the marriage. You there already. How do you deal with it?
But by the time you're thinking you don't want to break the marriage, that marriage is broken already.
Okay.
Yeah, by the time you're thinking, oh, I don't want to break my marriage, that marriage is gone.
So does it mean you end this completely and I don't know?
Forgive your mother, forgive your father, get your identity. Everything that will happen after getting your identity will be a revelation through that identity.
Don't be in this situation already. Take a sample of someone is in this situation. You have a man is at this time. Okay?
Yeah.
A man that makes you furious and they don't want to apologize to you.
But no man can make you furious. No man can make you angry. Anger is just inside you. It's just that this man triggered it. So it's always inside you. So you have to overcome that anger. Nobody can make you angry. Whatever makes you angry is just you. You are angry from inside. But you've never found a chance to actually lash that anger out. Okay? So when you overcome that anger, nobody will make you angry.
Anger issues. Do I stay with this man who is triggering my anger issues?
But you see, you attracted who you are. Are you listening totally? I want you to listen clearly. You attract who you are. So that man that you don't want to see is actually a mirror image of who you are.
What?
Yes, you attract because you don't have an identity. You have anger and he has no identity. He has anger and emotions. That's why he's unable to actually control your emotions.
I don't like this.
Yes, go find your identity.
Okay.
So start by you. Understand yourself better. Go fix yourself. Stop trying to fix other people. Fix yourself. Once you fix yourself, everything that you will do, you will not be responsible. It will be a revelation through the identity that you have. At this moment in time, you have the identity of evil because you have anger. So evil spirits are actually controlling you and you're thinking you're the better one. Other people are actually the ones who are actually making you feel bad about yourself. Okay? But when you just cross over, you overcome that anger by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father, you get to release their false identities. Now you'll have your own identity. And now you'll be filled with love. You'll know how to behave on this man. You'll see him as he's bringing his energy. You'll simply discern it. You'll not hate it, because you see, when you hate that energy, you resent him. When you resent him, you become just like him. So you become masculine.
Okay, I hear you. And you can clarify on this. What are these identities you're talking about?
The only two identities, the spirit of evil and the spirit of good. When you have anger, you have the spirit of evil. When you have love, you have the spirit of good. You'll never get angry. You'll never expect anything from anybody. You'll not be hurt. You'll be complete. You'll have perfect peace.
Okay.
Have you got me right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Amazing. Amazing. I know how deep this stuff is to some of you who are looking at it in a shallow way. Why? Because we constantly keep blaming the environment. But I've just told you, we are in the world, but we are not of the world. So whatever is happening around you is none of your business. Your world and your real reality is inside you. You will attract who you are. So if I attract who I am, and then I'm unable to like the people that I attracted, that means I'm unable to like myself. So fix me. Right? Fix me. If I don't fix me, I'll constantly blame what I'm seeing outside me. That is none of my business. My business is knowing myself. Once I've known myself, I go fix the identity. Because I have anger, I go overcome the anger. And now because I don't have anger, I will not feel anything. If you bring the energy for anger, I will not feel anything. You will not manipulate me. You will not take advantage of me. Because I'll see evil and I will discern it. I will not hate it, because whatever you hate, you become. So I'll see it, I will discern it, and that's it. That's it. You don't have to deal with anything. And remember this, everything that has happened to you, whether good or bad, you have no control over it. You have no control. It is the spirit that lives in you that actually controls you. So anything you've done, everything that has happened to you, whether good or evil, it is none of your business. It is not you. It is the spirit that lives inside you. So therefore, go overcome that spirit. Get the spirit of good. It will guide you to do everything. You will only be a vessel. So you'll only do what the spirit guides you to do. You will know who to attract. You'll know how to interact with people. You'll know how to attract good people. You'll know to attract people who have an identity. So you'll not suffer. How do you deal with anger? Velix, by overcoming the spirit of the mother. Anger comes from the nature of a woman. So if you overcome the nature of a woman, you're good to go. And then you reconnect with the spirit of a biological father by overcoming your father, because your father was weak. And that's why you ended up getting angry. Your father was weak. He was manipulated by your mother. And the mother turned you against your biological father unknowingly. She didn't even like it. She didn't even know she was doing it. She was just doing it innocently, as the spirit that was inside her was guiding her. So she did that unintentionally. She doesn't even know it. And that's the same thing that is happening to you. You don't even know it. So many men are having the spirit of their mothers, and they constantly try to look for their mothers in women. And that's how they end up hurting these women. So marriages are full of weak men and angry women, because the men are weak. And now these angry women are constantly turning children against their biological fathers who are weak. And the fathers don't even notice it. So you think your father was good and he was a provider and all these things, but he was so dominated because he was so weak. And that's why you have anger. He was supposed to be there to actually guide your mother on how to take care of you, so that you don't have this spirit of anger. But you ended up attracting the false identity from your mother and the false identity from your father, because the father was weak. He's the one who is supposed to teach your mother on how to teach you. And now what happens is, most of the times, women remold children in their own images. Okay? If you're a daughter, I want to look at it this way. Teresa, listen to this. Your mother wanted you to avoid the mistakes that she did when she was growing up. So she thought by you avoiding the mistakes that she did when she was growing up, you will become a superwoman. So your mother did not like who she is from the word go. That's why she was trying to remodel you into a woman that is not her image. But she ends up doing that and remodeling you into her own image, because she's trying to help you avoid the things that she did when she was growing up and the mistakes that she did. And that's how we end up getting messed up. There's a call coming in. I hope this is the... Hello.
How are you?
All is well. How are you? Who is this? What is your name? Oh, she hung up. Doc, are you recording this? I think I need a copy. Yes, it will stick on YouTube for a lifetime, so that you get through it. Every Friday we do an Identity Friday. So it will always be on YouTube. Go and check it out. And I'll cut some pieces of this so that most people can actually see it. What can be the best natural substitute for collagen supplements? Identity Fridays. Identity Fridays. If you're looking for the best collagen supplements, go for Identity Fridays. Hello.
Hi, Dr.
All is well. How are you?
I'm fine.
And your name is? Kate.
King-shot.
Oh, clean short.
Yeah, but my name is Alice.
Alice, aha. Welcome on board, Alice. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Where are you talking to us from?
I'm coming from you from Kiambu.
From Kiambu. Nice to have you here. Take us through your story.
Okay, thank you. So,
Yes.
I have been following you since like 1 month.
Okay.
And I'm very glad because of this identity crisis.
Yes.
Because I realize I'm feeling with bitterness.
Okay.
Because we are family of 4.
Okay.
And my mother died when I was young.
Okay.
And apparently my father came to my mother.
Okay.
And he was like jailed for 22 years.
He was?
Jailed. He was jailed for 22
Oh, jailed. Okay.
Yeah, and this happened when we were young.
Okay.
We were taken to my grandmother,
Uh-huh.
who raised us.
Okay.
Now, we are all grown up,
Uh-huh.
and when my father came out from prison,
Yes.
he got married again.
Oh, okay.
When he got married again, we did not have any kids with the second wife now.
Mm-hmm.
And like 3 to 4 years from when he came from the prison, he died.
Okay. So he came straight from prison and remarried.
Yeah, after a while.
And then 3 years down the line, he died.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had some properties.
Okay.
And now because he died, he wrote the will that all his property to go to us now the children.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I can't get those things because I'm still in pain.
Okay.
And actually everything that is related to this man reminds me of pain. Like I hate him even if he's dead,
Okay.
because he killed my mom.
Oh, he killed your mother.
Yeah, he killed my mom, and that's why he was killed.
What happened to an extent that he killed your mother?
I don't know, but they were like one and a
Okay.
akatumia hiyo jembe akamuua hivyo.
Okay.
And this happened when I was young, but my mother alikuwa amenipaka yake wapenda kwa shamba.
Mm.
So I think this trauma is still with me.
Okay.
And even to his grave, I hate him so much.
Okay.
But my siblings, now my siblings are saying that we should tukubali the inheritance of this man
Mm-hmm.
because we are his children. But maybe I cannot. Maybe I'm still in pain because nothing reminds me of this man but pain and pain and pain.
Yeah.
And furthermore, my mother is buried in that farm that they want us to inherit.
Yes.
So I'm in pain, I'm in bitterness. I don't know what to do. That's why I just called you to help.
Okay.
Because my siblings are blaming me, oh, we should take this. My mother is buried there. And then, the second wife now, who was married,
Yes.
she lives there.
She lives in these properties.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a 5-acre land.
Mm-hmm.
And they are saying, as the children, we should take 3,
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 should go to the second wife now.
Okay.
And this woman, she's saying that because she doesn't have children, we should be supporting her financially, like doing shopping and all that, because she's our mom.
Okay.
So I'm in pain, I'm in bitterness, I don't know what to do.
Are you also bitter with this woman?
I think I'm bitter with like the man and this woman because like everything reminds me of this man who's killed my mother.
But
And I have gone through so much in this life
yes.
that I don't even feel like I need any inheritance from a person who killed my mother.
When you say you've gone through a lot, what do you mean?
Like in life, it has been very difficult for us growing up without both parents. That's why you see my dad was killed
Yeah.
and my mother is 6 feet under.
Yes.
And my grandma really struggled with that to bring us up. Even education was, like, I did not even go to high school.
Okay.
So I'm feeling like anything that is being mentioned about lands and inheritance and this man is just reminding me of pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now that you've been in pain and in this hatred all through, has it helped you get better?
No, I think sometimes I'm better when I'm not associated with
Mm.
Because they live very far away from us,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of have forgotten. But I cannot forget because every time I see that challenge, I feel that man.
Okay.
And sometimes I think maybe my life could have been better being raised by both parents if I come home.
That is true. However, your resentment for your father, has it made things better?
No.
Exactly. So you're actually living in your past and it's not doing you any good. Remember this, you don't have any past. You don't. Your real reality is now. You're living in this moment in time. Whatever is in your past is just a memory in your head. And the devil is actually using that to manipulate you. Do you think you love being angry?
No.
Exactly. Nobody loves being angry. And living in an angry world means you're living in the darkness. You're constantly living and allowing the spirit of evil to develop and destroy you through your own thoughts and imagination.
But now, help me because, okay. It has come to a point that I have to make a decision because of my siblings and the family concerning this inheritance.
Yeah.
And my mother is buried there.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a woman lives there, stays there.
Yeah.
This will mean that I'll be seeing my mother 6 feet under, and I'll be seeing this other woman there. And she still needs us to support her. Because she doesn't work, she doesn't do anything.
Listen to me, Alice. You're allowing the nature of evil to destroy you through your own thoughts and imagination by living in the past. You're not conscious about life. Your real life is now. Fathers don't hate children. Fathers can have issues with the mothers of these children, but fathers don't hate children. That's why your name is actually there and you've inherited property from your father. He wasn't stupid doing that. Now, whatever happened between your mother and your father is none of your business. Understand that. Start by understanding that. Whatever happened between your mother and your father is none of your business. Okay? Your father would have killed your mother when you were 1 day old. And you would have never known about it. So understand how traumatic it is, you experiencing that death of your mother and knowing that your father killed your mother. Did you witness it?
But that is not the thing, because every time I used to think that he's in jail because of killing my mother. I don't know if you can understand the thing that I'm going through and the thing I have gone through.
The reality is, I don't have to understand that pain, but I know you can walk out of that pain. So let me ask you.
Okay, help me.
That's why we are doing. That's what.
I really need to.
That's what we are doing here. But if you come with these, you're so uptight, you will not see the bigger point because you're coming with anger. And when you come with anger, it will block you from seeing common sense. It will block you from seeing the light. Did you witness your father killing your mother?
No.
So who told you your father killed your mother?
Everybody, like even teenager, everybody knew about it because of possible.
So you did not witness your father killing your mother. People told you.
Yeah, I was there, but I was there. Like 1 or 2 to 3 years, I did not even understand.
So people told you that your father killed your mother.
Yeah.
And you believed them.
Yeah, because there was a point when I grew up, sometimes I went to visit him. I was so bitter and I was feeling like I need to face this man.
Yes.
And ask him questions.
Yes.
So I went to visit him in Naivasha.
Yeah.
That time he was in Naivasha. And he really apologized or a lot of things that he admitted, yes, I sinned her, and that's why I'm here, and I'm sorry.
So you.
And actually it made things even worse.
But your father took a chance to apologize to you for killing your mother.
Yes.
So you can imagine that. So do you know, by him apologizing to you, he was actually forgiven by God? Do you know that?
I don't know.
He was. Because he actually apologized for it, and God does not judge. God is not an emotional God. He doesn't judge you because he knows you don't have a past. He knows whatever you've done, you're not responsible. He knows the spirit that lives inside you is the one that was guiding you, and that's the spirit that actually made you do what you had to do. Now, you're looking at your father as a murderer. That is okay. But look at you having anger. Where do you think that anger will be lashed to?
Yeah, that's why I'm admitting that I feel in pain and I'm still I'm very angry. I'm admitting.
That's very true.
And that's why I have returned to this side.
Yeah.
Because actually I've never even spoken it to anybody else. But when I started following you,
Yeah.
I gathered courage to believe that I'll get help in this health and wellness for.
And I appreciate the...
And that's why I'm here. Because I admit that I'm still in pain. I admit that I'm angry with like everybody. I am even afraid with even then. I cannot even say.
Yes, because you resent your father and you became just like him. You became evil like him. So who knows, you might kill somebody also because you're actually resenting the spirit of your father, which you've ended up attracting. But your father understood the assignment. That's why he actually asked for forgiveness from you, because he knew he had done you wrong. So he apologized. And you see, you, in the evil nature of you, you are thinking, because I have not forgiven him, you think you have the ability to forgive. You don't. He actually, by him just showing God that he is accepting that he did wrong, and it was beyond him, it was a spirit that was inhabiting him that actually guided him to kill your mother. He saw that and he admitted it, and then he apologized to you. But because you thought you are the better person, because at that moment you are angry, so you thought you are the better person, you ignored the bigger picture. For him, he's safe because you don't have any ability to forgive. Humans cannot forgive. God is the one that forgives. So when he said those words to you, he actually overcame you and God forgave him. The only mistake that your father did, and he did it in a fallen state, is him getting to remarry, because he was a weak man and he was chasing an ejaculation. So he thought if he remarries, he'll actually run away from you people, because the energy that you were actually providing after he came out of jail was crazy. So he kept on running away from you people. And he thought he will find peace by marrying another woman. That is his only mistake. And I hope and I wish that before he died, he would have apologized for actually bringing in a new woman who will mess up his children. But the reality is, in the battle of him killing your mother, he is already forgiven by God. Therefore, you are actually suffering in your own hell. You're burning in your own anger for things that you don't have control over. You did not assist your father in killing your mother. You are not a better person because right now you have a very false identity, which is actually coming from you resenting your father, and is not doing you any good. So I want you to stop loving and living in your own hell. What do? Start living in the present. Now that you understand that you've actually messed up and from within you it's judging you, that's why you're in this life and you're seeking help, accept help. You know yourself better now that you have anger. That is a perfect start. Now you need to overcome that anger. One, whoever raised you was your grandmother. Is she still alive?
No, she passed on recently. I know where my pain is coming from.
Yes.
Just that you have mentioned. This man came out of prison and he never even came looking for us, even to apologize or even to other siblings, because I'm the one who made an effort to go and face it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
He didn't have to come and face you for any reason because you're not God. He didn't have to.
But he married again. He never even came looking for us as children, not even to apologize.
And that,
remember that I had family, I had children.
but that's the point. The point is he was a weak man. That's why he was emotional. He ended up killing your mother. He was still in the fallen state. That's why he ended up remarrying somebody else when he had children. So it is not him. It is the spirit that lives in him. That spirit that actually lived in him is the one that controlled him. And that's why I tell people to overcome their identities, the false identities and the spirit of evil. Why? Because if you have the spirit of evil, like you right now, there's a spirit that is inhabiting you and is controlling you. It's actually telling you what to say and how to get angry. And it's actually telling you are the better person and your father was the worst person ever. It is that spirit that is guiding you. So we cannot even judge you. We understand your story. But we are hoping that you can actually see light from the other side. Cross over. You are lucky that your father is dead, your mother is dead, your grandma who raised you is dead. So all these three people who gave you the false identities are dead. The only thing you need to do is to face your stepmother and forgive her. Actually tell her, I've been resenting you for what happened between you and my dad, and I apologize. Once you do that, you don't need to care about your stepmother anymore. You will overcome her, and the spirit of anger will be taken off you. Because you don't have any control over anything that is happening to you right now. It is the spirit that lives in you. So you must overcome that spirit by forgiving this person that your father brought in. So you felt he didn't love you because he would have actually come from prison and come to apologize to you and actually look for you. So you thought this woman was taking all the attention that you need from your father. And you see, every child, whether your father killed your mother or not, you still have a void inside you of the father. This is one of the reasons why you went to look for him, because you wanted information from him. You would have just overcome him and gone, but because you kept on longing for the father, you had to go and find him. Unfortunately, you go and find him and you find out, oh, this guy is married to another woman. So he actually did this intentionally to actually get to move on. So he hated my mother so bad. That was evil of him. He was in a fallen state. But you see, your father did not have any control over that because it was not him. He is not responsible for killing your mother. It is the spirit that inhabits him that actually guided him to do the wrong things. When you are evil, when you have a spirit of evil, evil controls you. You will end up doing evil things. When you have anger, anger controls you because anger is the spirit of evil. You end up doing things that are evil. You will destroy. Right now, you're destroying yourself and you're born perfectly. Whatever happened, anything that lives has to die anyway. So your mother attracted a weak male, and the resentment that your mother had for this man brought all these issues. You don't know what happened to an extent that your father ended up killing your mother. You don't need to find out what happened. That is none of your business. You only know that your father killed your mother and he was bold enough to come to you and apologize, admit and apologize. That is repentance. So he actually overcame your spirit and he had the spirit of good. He died a happy man. The only mistake he did is to remarry when new people were still there. He would have actually come out of jail and come try to mend the relationship between you and him. Okay? That is the only thing. So I want you to do this. I want you to go and face your stepmother and tell her this, that I've been resenting you for whatever happened between you and my father. But I've realized that was wrong of me. So I apologize. Now, lower your ego, because I know ego is going to kill you. Lower your ego and go and face your stepmother and tell her that. Do not tell her to apologize to you. No, tell her, I apologize. You are the one who is playing the victim. Apologize. Because you're the one who is resenting him or her, sorry. So apologize to her. Once you've apologized, whatever she says should be none of your business. Keep moving. You will overcome that. Then stick in prayer. And I want to tell you this. You call yourself 𝐄𝐩𝟒. Do you know the power of the name?
No.
You have a name that is Alice. You've went ahead to lack an identity and you've decided to call yourself 𝐄𝐩𝟒. Imagine that. Do you know what 𝐄𝐩𝟒 means?
But that's why we cannot understand this.
I understand you perfectly. But now you see, you are on a way of fixing yourself. You've done good already. Stop judging yourself for nothing. Stop trying to carry a burden of something that you don't have control over. I understand your pain. I know it.
But the pain is
And that's why you need to overcome the pain. And how do you overcome the pain? You must face your stepmother and overcome her. Because the people that actually put this pain in you are dead. How old are you?
I'm 35.
You can imagine at 35, you still have 65 years to live. You cannot live those years in anger. You cannot live those years in pain. And you see, the more you hate your father, the more you become just like him. And guess what? One of these fine days, you might wake up with a lot of anger and you will destroy your stepmother. You will. You're wondering, why is she living in the land that belongs to us? Why is she even here? Why is she even asking for financial support from us when our father killed our mother and then went ahead and married this woman?
But the family, we decided that we do not want any inheritance because actually we've been doing our life struggling and we don't want anything to do with that inheritance.
Yes.
And we decided at some point my other siblings are blaming me.
Yeah.
But it has reached to a point that we decided that we don't want to do anything with the inheritance, that we don't even want to see, or we don't want anything.
Listen to me, Alice. Anything that is in the world is nothing, is not yours. You have to be willing to die of the nature of evil to resurrect in the nature of good. And that means you have to let go every single thing. The reality is there is a pain that comes with living and letting everything go. And the reality is this. You see, every single person in your family is just evil. They have the spirit of evil, and they have the spirit of resentment, and they resent their mothers who are already dead. They resent their father who is already dead. They resent people who have actually gone. So the reality is this. That land has nothing to do with you. Your father was actually an honest man, if you ask me, because he knew that he was going to die, and he wrote a will that this land belongs to my children. So your father loved you, and whatever happened between him and your mother has nothing to do with you. He loved you, he apologized to you, he wrote a will that you people have to inherit his property. He wasn't a fool as you're looking at him. Okay? So the only problem is there is another woman who is living in this land, but that woman was not given rights over this land. So stop chasing things that are on earth. Stop chasing those. Stop chasing land. The land is there and is yours. It belongs to you people. Stop even thinking that your family has to accept you and has to follow your guidance. Stay away from your family. You don't need any guidance and anything from your family anymore. They're actually making sure that you're still in hell because they have never seen light. But you have seen light now. That's why you're in this life. That means it's you who will actually teach them about forgiveness. But you cannot teach them about forgiveness if you have not found your identity and if you have not found yourself. So go find yourself. Fix yourself. Start by changing this name called 𝐄𝐩𝟒. That is not a name. You have a very beautiful name called Alice. Start from there. Once you change that name, go face your stepmother. And I know it will be an emotional moment, but don't care about the emotions. Go face your stepmother and ask her to forgive you. Just tell her, I've been resenting you for no good reason and I apologize. Say those words and go silent. Okay? Once you say that, do not expect her to forgive you because she has no power. God is the one that forgives you. You need forgiveness, and God will not forgive you if you resent people. God will forgive you when you forgive people. That means you have to go and overcome these people that you're resenting. And because there's only one that is alive, you must forgive that one. Once you forgive that one, God will take over that battle. God will get that anger out of you. He'll get that resentment out of you. And you'll realize it will be a natural process. You will not fight it. You will not struggle with it. He will take that out of you. Once he takes that out of you, because the burden is not yours, it's his. But allow him to work with you. You must allow him to actually come in and help you. And at this moment in time is when God is actually going to reveal himself, because you are tired of this situation. You're tired of being angry. You're tired of resenting your father. You're tired of feeling the pain. Okay? And this pain, the more you feel this pain, the more you want to portray this pain to other people. Do you have children?
Yeah.
You see, that anger will be passed to these children. And these children will end up becoming just like you, angry, emotional, and chaotic. Therefore, you must overcome that spirit of anger by forgiving your stepmother. Okay, because she's the one who came in to actually take away the love and the attention that was supposed to come from your father. So go and forgive her, but start by changing your name. And then go and face your stepmother, forgive her. Once you've forgiven her, do not care about her telling you about finances and all that, her telling you I'm not leaving this land, because these are material things. They mean nothing. Once you get an identity from her, because you must steal that identity back. Once you get that identity from her, everything that you will be doing will be a revelation from above. It will come through that identity, and everything that you will be doing will be amazing. You will love your new self. You will become younger. You will become easy to deal with. You will attract men who will take care of you. You will not be resentful. You will not teach your children resentment. You will not teach or lash this anger in your children. And you will not remodel your children into your own image.
Okay.
So if you're listening to me, there is a place you must start from. At least start from that place. Start from a place of changing this name of yours. And then go ahead and face your stepmother and overcome her. Do not write a letter, do not write her text, do not call her. Go and face her so that you overcome her spirit. Once you've done that, God will take that burden out of you. It will be an interesting journey. And when you're going to forgive them, do not expect anything from them. Because the mistake will be, you want to forgive them and then expect them to accept you and expect them to feel bad and now apologize to you. Do not expect anything. Whatever they say, let it get into your ears and let it get out.
Okay.
You've heard me?
Yeah.
And then there is my contact all over my videos on YouTube. That 070707. Use that contact, you will get my direct access, and through that, we will help you walk through that journey of overcoming that anger. Because once you overcome that anger, and you overcome that evil spirit in you, guess what? The devil will not want to die in you easily. He will wake up and he will try to torment you every single day, through your family, through your husband, through your children, through everybody around you. Because the devil inside you does not like to die. He wants to survive. So for you to overcome him totally, you must get guidance. So once you overcome that, once you face your stepmother and you overcome her, we now have to teach you on how to stick in prayer. Do a silent prayer every single day. Just close your eyes and let all thoughts flow into your head. The bad and the good thoughts, let them run into your head. You start to realize you are not a product of your thoughts. These thoughts were put in your head by somebody. People who told you your father killed your mother. People who, your father also put these thoughts in you. All these negative thoughts in your head are not your identities. They are false identities from people. So pay attention to them, but do not act upon them. Just let them flow into your head every single evening and every single morning. Do a silent prayer and stick in that prayer.
Yeah,
but
I need to be trained because I have 2 children.
Yeah.
As I have been following this platform,
yeah,
I realize that I'm so bitter.
Yeah.
With like everything, with my husband, with like everyone. I have tried churches, I have tried like counseling, but I'm not healing.
Yes, because those people that you are seeking your identity from do not have it. Your pastor does not have your identity. Your psychiatrist or the counselor does not have your identity. Nobody will have your identity, because the identity that you need is the one that is actually stolen by your stepmother. You have to take it back from her. Yeah, so you must overcome her by forgiving her, okay? Just go to her and tell her, I have resented you for no good reason. I apologize. It is a very short statement. I have resented you for no good reason and I apologize.
Okay.
Once you say those words, don't care about anything else. God will take that battle out of you, because he will see you are actually suffering. He will take that battle out of you and he will fill you back with your own identity. And through that identity, he will fill you with love. And every single communication that he wants you to do will be revealed through that identity. You will love yourself even better. Okay?
Okay.
We appreciate you for taking chance to talk to us. We appreciate you for actually taking the bold step. And that is not taken for granted, because it's also not you. It's the spirit of good that's actually trying to tell you, hey, seek ye first and the rest shall be added unto you. So go and find your identity. You'll be well.
Thank you, Dr. God bless you and God bless this platform.
You're welcome. We wish you well and we'll be here to guide you through, okay?
I will contact you on Monday through the other contact.
Amazing. May God protect you and may God give you all that you desire. Tabrebo. Amazing. 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 This is the heart of somebody who is actually trying to find help. A heart that is in need of guidance, in need of its identity. And guess what? It got it. When you tell God, I am unable to do this on my own, he takes charge. Realize this. Anytime you are suffering, anytime you are in suffering, that's why I tell you, endure the suffering. Endure the suffering, because anytime you are suffering, that's the time when God manifests. That's the time when God manifests. But anytime you rely on your own understanding, you perish. Oh, what a story. What a story. Man, if you're on this life and it has not touched you, oh, you don't have a soul. You don't have a soul. You don't have a soul. She deserves better. And I teach you about identities every time. And I'll tell you this for free. I shake your hand, I know your identity. I see your hairstyle, I know who you are. I know your personality. I see the name, I know the identity. And the reason why I said, I sense there's something here. I saw the name Killshot. I was like, this must be something. Killshot. You cannot call yourself Killshot and expect life to open up for you. It's difficult. And those nicknames that you give yourselves, oh, those nicknames have power, my friend. They actually show the identity that you have. They show the bitterness. They show your expression. People are walking out here angry. They are angry, and guess what? We attract who we are. We keep on attracting angry people because we are angry. Oh man, we've just smashed the midnight hour. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around to actually experience such a moment. It's so life-changing, and I'm so amazed, and I'm so happy that she came through. All of you, I'm so happy that you came through, and we can't do this anymore. We have to call it a night, and we will see you guys in December. Ooh! On that note, I have to take a break and go to the village and reconnect with my people. Go and see your fathers in the villages. Talk to them. Revisit them and go and tell them that, hey, Dad, I've been resenting you for no good reason, and I apologize. I thought that sending you money every month is going to make you better. I am sorry. I am here to actually mend my relationship with you. I apologize. Apologize to those people that you resent. Put your ego down. They are not supposed to apologize to you. No, put your ego down. Go and apologize to every single person that you resent. Because when you do that, you're playing reverse psychology. You'll make them humble their egos. And you will win. You will win big. We will be here fixing your health in December. We don't care about anything, but we will be here fixing your identities. Thank you so much for attending this live. Thank you so much for being an interesting audience. Thank you for being patient with us. And we cannot survive without your support. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kakeli, for actually sending us 20 pounds as a super chat. Thank you for everybody who liked the live. Thank you for everybody who just took their time to sit here to enjoy this healthy content. Identity Fridays are something else. And not your doctor cannot fix that. Your pastor cannot fix that. Your psychiatrist cannot fix that. But guess what? You have the power to fix it on your own. We wish you well. We hope that you have a good night, and we'll see you again when it's very necessary. Thank you so much for everything that you've done to us, and may God keep you safe. Amazing, amazing.